Okay, this is Habit of Health video week 3, and our healthy habit this week is mindfulness. And mindfulness is basically paying attention. We want to know what we're doing and why we're doing it. No sitting on the couch and eating 3 bags of cookies or chips while we're watching TV and not noticing where they went to. And no eating a candy bar because we're upset and we think that it will make us feel better. Food is food. It is fuel for our bodies, and we want to make choices that will get us to our long-term goal, not choices we'll regret. That doesn't mean that we can't have things that maybe aren't 100% healthy, but let's know why we're doing it and make it a conscious choice. So, first of all, a great mindfulness habit would be not expecting food to produce an emotion. Aside from the additional dopamine rush right there at the beginning, food is not going to make us happy. And if it's food that is going to take us away from our really important, basic, fundamental long-term health goal, then we're going to regret it later. And beating ourselves up and regretting things doesn't make us happy either. So we can get out of this kind of cycle in a couple of ways. And one is to retweak our brain so that we understand that whether we're excited, stressed, happy, sad, I could run through pretty much any emotion in the whole spectrum there. And whatever it was, I thought food was the answer. And to get to that understanding in my brain that I can be happy and I don't need to reward myself with food. I can be upset and food isn't going to make me feel better. And we use mindfulness to pull us toward the goal we want and push away the choice that we don't. So I can say, okay, I'm really stressed out. I've had a bad day. When I make healthy choices, I feel better about myself. And I could really use some feeling better about myself today. And when I choose this candy bar that I'm looking at, it actually doesn't make me feel better. It makes me feel kind of miserable. Okay, so pulling towards what we want, away from what we don't. That's one good way to kind of break that cycle. Another one is to replace those unhealthy food-oriented habits with something that is healthy and will give you that feeling that maybe you think food is the answer for. So when I am angry, maybe a nice walk with my spouse. When I am frustrated and stressed out, instead of reaching for cookies, I can say, okay, every time I'm upset, I'm going to take a hot bath because that actually does relax me and I don't have to regret it later. So kind of combining those 2 steps, the understanding what it is and then replacing it with an activity that will get us what we want. Trigger and the strategy. So when this happens, when I'm upset, I am going to take a walk. And reaffirming that plan in our brains of food is not what I'm looking for here, and I'm going to do something else. And doing that over and over, we're not going to just break old habits cold turkey. We've spent a lifetime developing them. But to be able to just overwhelm them with sheer numbers of better choices, and our ratio isn't going to be perfect, but as we keep doing it, those habits get easier and easier to reinforce, the good ones, the ones that we want. And we're just going to overwhelm them with sheer numbers of good choices and good choices and good choices till the old us isn't there because we're not making old unhealthy choices from old unhealthy habits. We've got a new us that has been brought about by new choices that have turned into new healthy habits. So if any of that was valuable to you or resonated with you, teach it to somebody else. It doesn't have to be somebody on our program. It doesn't even have to be somebody you live with. Just something like, you know what? I learned that when I'm upset, I tend to turn to food, ice cream, whatever. And I don't have to do that. I actually went home and did a crossword puzzle instead or painted my nails. And I felt so much better. And I didn't have anything to regret, which made me feel extra proud of myself, which, is a bonus. More joy for me. And teach it to somebody else and then call your coach and tell them what you think because they'll be really excited to hear it. And I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.